Hello guys. Well, now I am going to talk about how was the first president elected. An interesting topic, so pay attention. Let's start. Well, in 1789, there were no official candidates. There was no campaigning for the office. There were no political parties, no nominating convention, no primary elections, and the entire election season was very short. And the major issue of the election was the constitution itself. Well, now continue. Why was the election in 1789? Well, it was a collection of 13 separate countries. So, the 13 colonies declared their independence. They did so not as a single unified country, but as 13 separate countries in association with each other. There was only one branch of government, well, which was the Continental Congress. The old system had one branch of government, the Continental Congress. In this new system, there were three branches of government. So the Continental Congress have this system, and this Continental Congress has three branches of government that are the legislative branch consists of Congress and had two separate houses of representative and the Senate. The executive branch. This would be headed by a president, and the judicial branch. It was headed by the Supreme Court. How are they going to get the president chosen? The American presidential election has two stages. First, you have to choose the electors, and then once the electors are chosen, they choose the president. That's still the system that is used in the USA today. Well, this want to say is that, for example, they choose the electors first, and after that, they choose the president from these electors. The modern USA presidential election. Well, voters elect a slate of electors on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. And electors elect the president on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December. This is what Americans call Election Day. The major issue of the election. Some Americans felt like the Constitution was a betrayal of the goals of the Revolutionary War. They felt like they had traded on one tyranny for another. So the anti-federalists, they wanted to get a second constitutional convention that would draft a different constitution that would be more acceptable to the anti-federalists. When the constitution was approved in the various states, the pro-constitution people promised, "We promise we'll adopt amendments later." So people were voting for the constitution with the promise in the future. It wasn't really binding, but with this understanding that in the future amendments will be adopted, which ended up happening. That was the Bill of Rights, which came into effect in 1791. The framers of the Constitution created this system where the elector would vote for two people for president rather than one person, and then the person who got the most votes would become president, and the person who got the second most vote would be vice president. There are two stages of electing the president. First, you get the electors, and then the electors choose the president. And at the end, George Washington won the election and became the first president of the United States. So this happened in 1789. This happened, right? Well, this is also Have a nice day.